So final video, this is number 4. If you missed 1, 2, or 3, I will link them down in the playlist below. We've talked about the best new launches in 2017. We've talked about the best new to me products in 2017. And then we've talked about the old favorites in 2017. Those standby products that just always seem to have a place in my collection. So today is going to be focused on what I'm calling the bonus awards. And so I kind of thought through a few categories to both recognize products and brands and contributors to the beauty community in kind of a fun way. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about my choices and some of these awards. But without further ado, let's get started. The first award we're going to give out is the award for most innovative product. And this to me is a product that is both different in the sense that I've not seen anything else like it on the market, as well as it performs. And I'm cheating a little bit here because this technically came out on the market before 2017, but what I saw was 1 or 2 followed by a range that really exploded with new colors and formulas in 2017. And that to me, for most innovative product, is going to be the Butter Glazing Eye Gloss. If you've never seen these before, look out. They are super strange. So you open up the little container and what's inside is almost like, it's like a jelly. I don't know how else to describe it. It kind of got a moussey consistency, but yeah, no, gel. Jelly's the best way to describe it. It's very strange, but what you end up with is some seriously pigmented and sometimes glittery shades that go onto this eye and deliver an impact that you just don't see in other products. This to me is a superior product to the Stila glitter eyeshadows that everyone kind of went crazy for this year. Those had a ton of fallout for me. No matter what I did, unless I literally used them like a regular glitter and used a glitter primer underneath, I had fallout by the end of the day. They just didn't lock and last onto my lid. By a couple hours in, I had tons of glitter fallout. These shades have quite a lot of glitter in them, but once they set, they don't budge, and I don't have any fallout even after 8 or 10 hours of wear. Plus, I think they've been able to deliver some really unique colors. I like to apply these with a little tiny Wet n Wild brush. I just kind of dip it in there and then swipe it onto my eye, let it set, and you're done. One of the shades that launched this year is the shade Mermaid, which is this really kind of crazy blue, green, gold, silver shift with glitter. It's really unique. Another one that launched this year that I think is gorgeous is the shade Icing, which is this rose gold, also kind of packed with some really interesting gold and pink shimmer throughout. A classic shade that they're known for, this was one of their original shades that I still think is amazing, is the shade Oil Slick. It's one of those blue-brown shifts, but it also has a ton of purple and blue glitter throughout it that really cause it to be a lot more impactful on the eyes than even the MAC blue-brown pigment. And then the final shade that came out this year that I had picked up is the shade Moonshine, which is another one of those traditional sort of bronze shades. This one is loaded with really sheer sort of silver and gold glitters throughout and really looks wet on the eye. So one of the reasons I like this formula as much as it is that they still look very wet on the eyes even after they've completely set. They managed to lock in any glitter that's in there on your eyes. And then the texture is just really unique, and you'd think it'd be difficult to apply, but it actually is very easy. And I find that it blends out better on the eye and is less chunky on my eye than those Stila ones that everyone was going crazy for. So to me, they get the most innovative product award. Maybe not a new formula, but tons of new shades and interesting color combinations that I just haven't seen anywhere else on the market. So the next award is the Beauty Routine Gamechanger. So for me, when I looked across all of my products, I wanted to see what was the thing that really upped the ante, that really made my makeup apply that much better or last that much longer or look that much better. What I ultimately decided was the biggest game changer for me of the year was hands down the Wayne Goss brushes. I have picked up both brushes from his eye set, and they're filthy because I use them all the time, as well as a few from his face collection. And it was funny, I was laughing with a friend. We were both saying it was like we had never applied makeup before in our life. The minute we used these brushes, it blended easier, it was smoother on the skin, it looked so much more diffused on both eyes and face. Like, it was noticeably different using these brushes. So I just feel like what everyone says is true. A good set of good quality brushes is going to last you a lifetime, and if you're going to look to invest in any part of your makeup routine, brushes is probably where to go. I'm not going to dive into every brush that I have here. We would be here a while if we did, but if you are interested in a review of the brushes or some more information about how I use these in particular, let me know down below. I am happy to kind of film that and lay that out for you. Next award is kind of a silly one, but it is the Best Packaging Award. And for me, this has to go to the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Sleeping Mask. This is the only skincare product I'm mentioning in any of my videos, but I just had to because this is absolutely the most beautiful packaging ever. It's this beveled glass that kind of looks like it's liquidy. It is beautiful sort of matte cap that matches the pink product inside. It's got a very clean label on the front. It's just one of the most unique and pretty bottles I've ever seen, and I just have to give major props for Glow Recipe for not only bringing over unique Korean brands that we haven't found, that we haven't seen in the United States before, but also for developing their own products that are not only incredible products inside, but absolutely stunning to look at on the outside. Next award is one that I kind of thought of as I was thinking about what had happened that was different or unique in our industry, or in the makeup industry this year. And one of the things I noticed that had really shifted this year was this idea of licensing. Major high-end brands starting to license, in particular movies and characters, to develop a line of makeup. We saw Pirates of the Caribbean, we saw Snow White, we saw Trolls, we saw a number of movies and characters turned into inspirational makeup items, and so I wanted to do an award kind of based around that. So this award is for the best licensed beauty product, and in my mind, and I will admit I'm a little biased here, this has to go to the Beauty and the Beast line from Lorac, in particular the eyeshadow palette. I just thought this was so well done. It definitely has taken inspiration from the movie but has done their own unique spin on it. I love the fact that they set this up as a book with kind of a book clasp. When you open it up, there's not only a mirror like she held in the movie, but then also like a cute little bookmark that sticks out. It has what is actually a really nice brush in there, and then the colors were really pretty. I think it absolutely took inspiration from the movie and from the outfits and from the period, as well as giving good throwback to the original Disney movie with some of the blues and the yellows. So I really think that this is a stunning, well done collaboration. And in addition, the products inside were every bit as high quality as what you would expect from Rock shadows. Kicked up a little powder, but incredibly easy and buttery to blend out. So absolutely love this one. Okay, the next award is the Better Than HighEnd award. And this award focuses on a product that is very affordable, but is delivering not only as good, but better quality, in my opinion, than its high-end counterpart. And so for me this year, this has to go to the AOA Studio Wonder Blender, in particular the Paw Paw collection that they did of pink sponges. This is a face sponge, very comparable to the Beauty Blender and even some of the ones at the drugstore. However, this little sponge is $1.55. And 55 cents of every purchase goes towards animal charities throughout the country. So you're not only giving back to your favorite furry animals, but you are getting an absolutely incredible sponge that is every bit as good as the L'Oreal sponge, every bit as good as the Real Technique sponge, and every bit as good as the Beauty Blender, in my opinion. What I love about this is they actually launched 3 different shapes. So you have this more hourglass shape. They have the traditional Beauty Blender shape, which is the teardrop. And then they also did one with the cut edge that reminds you a lot of the Real Technique sponge. So regardless of your sponge preference from a shape perspective, you're going to find something you like, and it's going to be $1.55. These are available exclusively on the Shop Miss A website. The AOA Studio line is their own brand that they have launched products out underneath. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but this sponge was just absolutely amazing, and I haven't wanted to use anything but this since getting it. Next award is the I Didn't Know I Needed That award. And this is recognizing a product that I had never used in my routine that I didn't even know I needed. And then once I used it, I was completely hooked and I couldn't go back. So the gateway for me this year was the Pure Hydrogel Lift. This is a gel consistency and it is in a stick format, and it's meant to kind of extra hydrate and smooth underneath your eye before you put on concealer. I had completely used up this Hydrogel Lift one, but I found a dupe that was a little more affordable, and this is from a Korean brand called The Same. It's in polar bear packaging, which is completely ridiculous and awesome. But this does the same thing at a fraction of the price to the Pure Hydrogel Lift. Basically what this is doing is it's going to add one extra layer of hydration before you put concealer on. So for those of us who are struggling with fine lines or dryness or texture underneath our eyes, a product like this is going to help smooth out those under eyes, lightly hydrate again, and then also just help the application process with concealer go on a little bit more smoothly and de-emphasize all of those texture and fine lines. I really notice a difference at days when I don't use this, and I really think that this will probably be my go-to one. I mean, I like the Pure one. If Ulta ever put this like half off in one of their sales, I would pick up one of these. But I really absolutely would 100% recommend the little polar bear version from the Korean brand, The Same. This is their Iceland Hydrating Eye Stick. I believe you can pick these up on Amazon. I will leave links down below if you're interested in the Korean beauty one. But if you want to get a sense for what this feels like and what I'm talking about, the Pure Hydrogel Lift is available at Ulta's, and you can go play around with them in the store. This award is the Most Shocking Product Award. This is a category I wanted to do to highlight a product that absolutely shocked me the first time I used it. Something that absolutely blew me away. And for me this year, this is going to be the Natasha Denona 5 palette. This is the palette number 9. I had never touched or swatched a Natasha Denona eyeshadow until I went to Vegas with a friend earlier this year. And the very first time that I touched this silver shade in particular, I was floored. I didn't even know that eyeshadow could do what this eyeshadow does. This is actually the silver shade that I've been wearing on my eyes, so if you've been curious what that is, it is this silver shade here. I don't own a lot of Natasha Denona eyeshadows. I think it's largely due to the fact that her price points are incredibly high, and so for me to buy one of those large palettes, I don't see myself ever doing that. But I thought it might be fun to get a few really unique shades in a little palette that could be a fun supplemental palette to really make a look pop. And so for me, the number 9 palette with its greens and its silvers and its taupes and sort of brassy or bronzy colors really stood out for me. But honestly, it's this metallic formula. It's just mind-boggling. I know not all Sephora's carry Natasha Denona. Mine has had maybe one palette from time to time in there. But if you can go in and swatch some of her metallics specifically in these little 5 pans, I just think you're going to be completely shocked and blown away. I know I was from the first time I swatched some of these. They just are like, they're just insane. I don't know how else to describe them. They're unlike anything else I've ever touched, anything else I've ever put on my eye. Holy manoli, like, I don't even know what to say to these. They're mind-boggling. So, yeah, go swatch one of these at a store if you can find it. The next award is a little bit more serious because I think it's something we've talked about in the beauty community quite a lot, and that is consistency. So this is the Consistency Award, and I wanted to award both a high-end and a drugstore company for being consistent. And to me, what that means is not that every single product is going to work for me 100%, but that they're not haphazardly launching products, and that there's a thought process behind what they do, and that they have put care and detail into launching products that are going to work for a multitude of skin tones, that are going to work for a multitude of different skin types, and then also just in general perform well on a lot of people. I think what we see a lot of times is brands launching things haphazardly just to try and drum up new business, and sometimes a slower, steadier approach is the better way to go. So for the drugstore company that I personally have felt a lot of consistency from this year is Milani. I think that they have launched a set of smaller collections throughout the year that have really been well thought out, from great highlighters to powders to fantastic setting sprays to a full range of foundations that keeps extending in color range, to brow products, to eye products, to primers. They really have a well thought out collection of products now that really perform incredibly well. They have managed to maintain their pricing without pushing super high the way a lot of drugstore brands have, in my opinion. And they have also given us products in beautiful packaging that perform as well, if not better, than a lot of their high-end products out there at Sephora and Ulta. So I really think highly of Milani at this point. I think whoever is directionally creating products and developing packaging and kind of their strategy for new product development is doing a phenomenal job. When I sit back and I think about all the brands at the drugstore, that is the one that really rises to the surface for me, and I have really admired what they've done this year. In terms of high-end brands, I struggled a little bit with this, to be honest, because I don't think that there has been a ton of consistency from a lot of brands that I have historically loved this year. When I think of brands that I've typically thought very highly of from a high-end perspective, the Tartes and the Too Faces and their Urban Decays of the world, I sit back and I think this year they really put out a lot of crap too. There was this kind of frantic pace to get new products out, and a lot of what they delivered just wasn't great, and the reviews and the feedback that came as a result of that reflected that. So when I think about high-end brands that have kind of done what Milani has, have consistently launched quality products at a steady pace that are both unique and quality, I've got to give it to Bite Beauty. I know that's fudging a little bit because Bite Beauty is just a lipstick brand. However, what I've seen from them is absolute impeccable quality. They have been thoughtful in the products they've launched, from the amuse-bouche lines to the prismatic lip toppers to the liquefied amuse-bouche liquefied lipsticks, to the glosses they've done, to the shades they've launched, to the micro collections of colors they've launched. They've done consistent launches throughout the year, but every single time those products have just been quality and have been well thought out and have delivered on whatever they have promised. So for me, when I think of high quality brands delivering great products, it really has to be Bite Beauty for me. Okay, so 2017 was the year of the collab. It was like the industry woke up to the fact that there were influencers out there who had opinions and who were definitely driving their audience towards purchasing decisions, and every brand seemed to want to collab with somebody new. And I thought it would be fun to do a collab award. So this is focusing on the collaboration that I think not only was unique and fun, but also was consistent in its quality, because some of these collabs I feel like came out and they weren't quite as up to snuff with their quality. And I'm cheating a little bit here as well because this is the most recent collab that I've actually picked up. But this is the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop Dream Street collaboration, and in particular I want to focus on the eyeshadow palette. I think that this palette is beautiful. I think it is unique. I think a lot of heart and soul went into thinking about the colors, how they would play together, what looks you could create with this, but also making something that was different and unique in the marketplace. And after, you know, hundreds and hundreds of eyeshadow palette launches, it takes a lot for me to go, huh, that's unique, that's really different. And I feel like this is what was accomplished with this collaboration. Not only is the quality there, ColourPop's been great with their pressed shadows. We talked about that in an earlier video. But the thought process for the shades that were picked were just really unique. I love the selection of mattes. The shimmers are all really unique. And I just feel like oftentimes what we see from collabs is something safe. So it's the same safe, warm, neutral eyeshadow palette. And I appreciate that Kathleen and ColourPop stepped outside the box a little bit, decided to pull in shades that you haven't seen and probably don't have in some of your palettes, and as a result really delivered us something unique. So to me, this is an example of a collaboration really well done. And finally, the last award I want to give out is the overall brand award. So for me, this was thinking about what brand really shook up the industry, what brand really drove innovation and really I think set the industry on fire. And for me this year, that has to be ColourPop. I think they're in a unique position to develop products quickly because they own their own laboratories, so they have the ability to, at any given time, walk into their test lab and whip up something new and try something new. But because they've been such a production to consumer kind of company, they've been able to launch a plethora of products that at a pace that is kind of jarring. So their product assortment this year has positively exploded. And what I find really fascinating about them is that not only do they launch products rapid fire and almost keep the industry on its toes a little bit, but the products that they do launch are always incredibly quality. It's very rare that ColourPop falls down and doesn't deliver a great product at a launch. I really give big kudos to the ColourPop team for developing a strong social media presence, to engaging with their consumers on a regular basis, to developing products at a rapid fire pace, and then really kind of challenging what does it mean to be a beauty brand in this industry and what does it really take to be successful. So I really think that they've been a game-changing company, and I've thoroughly enjoyed a ton of the products that I've tried from them. So I'm very interested to see what 2018 brings for ColourPop. Okay, so those were my bonus awards for 2017. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and all of my other 27 beauty videos. These are fun to make. I love talking about favorites, and this is kind of like the ultimate series of favorites videos. I hope you guys enjoyed the way that we broke this into 4 different videos. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this series and also what some of your favorites in 2017 were. If you haven't, I would love for you to subscribe. I'm a newer channel here on YouTube, but I'm looking forward to posting consistently next year, and I would love to get to know you guys as we build this channel together. I hope you all are having a great day. I'll talk to you soon.